28-5. He is 5'5", 25 years of age, out of Mexico City. Weighed in at 2 a.m. at 114 pounds. Did not get here from Mexico until about 1:30 in the morning because of visa problems. 0-2 in the United States. And his opponent out of Washington, D.C. The hometown hero. His 4th appearance here on Friday Night Fights in his last 6 bouts. 115 pounds, 28 years of age. Mark Too Sharp Johnson, 38-1 with 26 knockouts. The only loss of his career came in his 2nd professional bout in Ireland. You take a look at Mark Johnson through the years, and Teddy, he has been just pound for pound one of the solid guys in this sport, one of the best guys in this sport. Busy, efficient, and a guy who's probably going to have to move up in weight.
Yeah, it looks that way, especially if you go off this fight. Although, if you go off this fight, reports was, we said earlier, that he'd been up to 135 pounds and he had to come down to 115 for this fight. But wonder if some of that is looking past this guy, too. And some of the distractions of being home. Hey, it's great to be home, but you could be distracted.
All right, let's take a look at the rules, unified rules for this IBF title fight. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round. Accidental cuts, they'll go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete. That happened in Johnson's last fight here on Friday Night Fights in August against Jorge La Cerva. La Cerva was cut in round number 2. They went to the cards in round 8, and Johnson had a unanimous decision. Johnson tends to get you early when he does score his knockouts. 20 of his 26 knockouts have come within the first 3 rounds.
Of course, Johnson, on top of having a great technique and great speed, he has a little bit of another advantage. He's a southpaw. Still, he doesn't present enough problems. Now you got a guy coming from the opposite side with all that speed. See, that's where the weakness of Johnson is. People are going to say, what do you mean? He just jumped in, he scored punches. Yeah, but he jumped in. Sometimes he gets carried away with his speed. Sometimes he'll jump in and leave himself a little bit open. If you're not afraid to punch with him and you're set, you can time him on the way in sometimes, Bob.
Tell you, what about the psychology? In 1996 in California, Johnson knocked out Juarez in round number 8. Juarez was down and right in round number 3. Double right hook to the body ended it. Johnson was comfortably ahead on all 3 judges' scorecards. How does Juarez make this different?
Well, first of all, you just said the magic word. He got caught in the body. So don't leave your body available. Use your legs a little bit. Get that body out of the way. Step out every once in a while. When you're inside, tie the guy up or step around him a little bit. Don't let him get those body shots off. You know he beat you with that before. Let him beat you with something else if he beats you, but not with the same thing. Each guy working against possible disadvantages. As we've said before, Johnson having to lose weight. In camp, he started off at 135 pounds, had to come down 115 pounds, had to dry out to make the weight. And of course, Juarez had visa problems, didn't get in until 1:30 in the morning last night, coming all the way from Mexico. But the bigger problems that have to be dealt with are by Juarez, because he has a tremendous fighter in front of him, and a guy who already beat him.
He weighed in 21 hours ago.
So Johnson once in a while will step straight back. And if the guy steps with him, that's the best time to catch him, because then he can't use his hand speed.
Teddy, another flaw that you saw in Johnson as we reviewed the tapes, a little wide sometimes with the hooks, correct?
Yeah, sometimes the speed, he gets so carried away with it like that. Even though he didn't pay there, he threw from too far away. You know, you get so used to getting away with it that sometimes you break the rules. You're so fast. Hey, I'm so fast, man, I can throw from anywhere. And every once in a while, a guy will lay on you and he'll time you. But the key is not to be afraid to throw. Most of these guys get intimidated by the speed and they don't take advantage of the openings. Even there, Johnson was a little bit open, but Juarez didn't throw.
Right hook by Johnson as we hit the end of round number 1. Johnson got hit.
If you're calling your village, collect calls with 1-800-CALL. AT&T can save you big bucks. It's the same low rates every minute, everywhere. 1-800-CALL-ATT.
You have saved big bucks, my son.
The amazing Wizard rotary tool.
Does detail work. Sharpen tools.
The Wizard has 25% more torque.
Soon your TV will have over 500 channels, almost enough to show you everything the Wizard can do. The Wizard, built by Black & Decker.
You know, Patty, I'm convinced men prefer blondes. And what type of men would this be, Daisy? The same type that prefer Miller Lite because it's so smooth. Oh, those? Well, the ones with great taste love Miller Lite because it tastes great. And by the way, prefer brunettes. Oh, if they prefer brunettes, why do they drink a beer that's smooth and blonde? Because it's a natural blonde.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
Yeah, like men care.
Mark Johnson making the second defense of his IBF Super Flyweight Championship against Raul Juarez. Round number 2 underway in this scheduled 12-rounder. Decent first round for Johnson.
Well, this is the third title try for Juarez. And he has fought 3 world champions. Although one of them was the owner of a minor title.
Punch numbers in round 1. Johnson 10 of 76. Juarez 5 of 43. Juarez challenged Johnson in 96. Was knocked out in the 8th round. Lost a 12-round decision to Yuri Arbakakov in Japan for the WBC Flyweight Championship. Juarez was down in that fight too.
See, Johnson can do it all, Bob. He's got to fight his temperament. When it's all over with, forget about his speed, forget about his technique. That's all tremendous. But he's a fighter. This guy is a nasty son of a gun in there. He's a real fighter. But he can do it all. He can pressure, he can go to the body, and he can counter the heck out of you, too. If you start coming at him like that, he'll counter you. He's been well schooled by his father, Ham Johnson, who's been around a long time. Because Ham was a long-time amateur coach in D.C. at the Elliott Recreation Center.
Good straight left hand by Johnson.
His father, Ham Johnson, was able to get him plenty of amateur fights back in those days. And that's why he's so calm in the ring. We got fathers in both corners, Bob.
Raul Juarez Sr. in his son's corner.
That always makes it a little bit more emotional. Sometimes tougher for the cornermen to make decisions. Johnson's coming a little straight in there, and Juarez is able to pick him coming in. Sometimes Johnson loses his concentration a little bit, again, because of his talent, believe it or not, Bob. He's so talented that sometimes he'll forget to pay attention to his P's and Q's. And he'll come straight in, or he'll just stand there and he'll allow you to close the gap. Because when you have tremendous talent, sometimes you can drift a little bit. If you don't have that much talent, then you have to concentrate, kind of like a Pete Rose in baseball. He didn't have the best talent. He had to concentrate and push all the time. But sometimes the most talented guys, they drift a little bit for a minute.
Well, only one guy has ever made Johnson pay, and that was in his second pro fight. End of round 2. Johnson in control.
Lycos.com. Your home base for everything from fast searches to one-stop shopping. You get whatever it is in the world you want from the World Wide Web. Lycos. Go get it.
You start bumming butts from friends. Then you buy them. Wondering where the money for all your stuff went?
So far through the first 2 rounds, Mark Too Sharp Johnson has controlled Raul Juarez, and Johnson comes right out on Juarez to start round 3. Johnson looks like he wants to end it, Teddy.
It was going to that body, and that's where he ended it in the first time these two were together.
Punch numbers in round 2. Of the 25 landed by Johnson, 20 were power shots. He landed a third of his power shots in the round.
You can see there's a possibility that Johnson can be effective with that uppercut. Look for that in this fight, because Juarez will lean forward every once in a while. And Johnson has the experience and the speed to time him with an uppercut if Juarez leans forward. Right. Oh, a little shoulder there by Johnson.
Well, Juarez hit him with an elbow at the end of round 1. There's Ham Johnson. He and Mark own Too Sharp Barbershop here in Washington, D.C. And there's Raul Juarez Sr. watching his son. Johnson spent some time in jail in 1993 on some drug charges. Comes from a rough neighborhood here in D.C., and he said he realized in his 5x7 cell that he was tired of $750 purses. He said from that point on he was focused on being a champion, and he has worn the title belts very well. Good left hand there by Johnson.
Johnson, every once in a while, he's getting caught every once in a while coming straight in. Since he has the ability to use his legs and obviously he has the better speed, he should come in off the side once in a while. I know he's going to get away with it and beat the guy inside anyway. Even if he comes the wrong way, he's still going to win the fight, it looks like. But if he comes from the side, he really separates himself because Juarez can't do anything about it. Johnson has the ability to go to the side, so he should use it.
Thunderous right hook to the head by Johnson.
See, Juarez has to be set to punch. You can see he can only punch when you're right in front of him. But Johnson can get to the side, and then Juarez has no chance at all. Right. And if you can do that, you should do it. Even though you might beat him the other way anyway, because you have the better talent. You should take advantage of what's there to take advantage of. Just watch Juarez. He can only punch if you're right in front of him. Johnson goes to the side. There's only going to be one guy punching, Johnson. But he's carrying the rounds anyway.
Well, Mark Johnson in total control against Raul Juarez. 25% through the bout.
Who would you like to call? Frank?
The Samsung digital wireless phone featuring internet access and voice-activated dialing. Flip the phone, shout the name, and Samsung dials the number. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
On an all-new Hoops Malone, Hoops and the Iceman start out with big plans.
We buy a big TV, we watch the college games in style, we return it, get a full refund. Hey, what could go wrong?
But end up with a big problem.
Oh, so much for free cable.
Oh, foolish.
And Digger Phelps stops by to lend a helping hand.
You go for water, you get me some towels. Hurry up, let's go.
Hoops Malone is coming soon to ESPN.
A lot of action here in D.C. tonight as Mark Johnson and Raul Juarez begin round number 4. Johnson defending his IBF Super Flyweight title. Earlier, Bilal Butili won a majority decision against Hector Lizarraga. The two threw almost 1,800 punches. And Johnson going right after Juarez again. Good combination by Johnson. Juarez hanging right in there, though.
Juarez gets caught because he stands straight up.
Juarez taking everything Johnson has and still standing.
The whole crowd is starting to chant, Too Sharp. See, now Johnson's stepping around him a little bit. I think, again, if he steps around this guy, if he steps around Juarez, he gives himself even a big advantage. He already has an advantage because of his talent. The reason he's not stepping around him might be because he already beat this guy 3 years ago, Bob. And he's not thinking that way. He doesn't think he has to do that. He figures I don't have to do it.
Not ruled a knockdown. That's a slip. Juarez has gotten in a few shots here. Johnson, as you mentioned, has gotten careless, but Johnson obviously carrying all of the action.
See, sometimes having beaten a guy can work against him. I mean, it works for you that you have the confidence, and that the other guy does not have the confidence, but works against you where sometimes you say, hey, I'm just going to get to him. And you don't make adjustments that you would have made if you hadn't already gotten to the guy once before. You say, hey, I got to him before, I'm just gonna go to him. And if you hadn't beaten him already, you might be looking at it a little bit more objectively. You might say, hey, wait a minute, I got to figure something out here. Sometimes you stop figuring when you beat a guy already.
Oh, that time Juarez went low.
See, there was some wide punches by Juarez. Look for Johnson to punch inside those punches.
Low shot that time by Johnson.
Protect yourself at all times, so the referee had not stepped in there. And you wonder how much of this is real. Again, I know I'm not the one in there, but you wonder how much of this is real and how much of it is he's behind in a fight, in a tough fight, and he's looking for an excuse. Because that was definitely a delayed reaction, wasn't it, Bob?
Yeah, well,
we're going to see it now anyway.
It did get hit low. I mean, he threw a low shot, and Johnson did what a lot of trainers always say. If they throw one low, you throw one low back.
I know it's hard to say. I'm not the one taking it, but he does have a cup on there. Okay, that's definitely low, no doubt about it. Right there, it looks like he steps back. He's thinking about fighting, and then all of a sudden now, he's hurt more than he was 3 seconds earlier. When he first got hit, he wasn't hurt as much as he was 3 seconds later after he took about 4 steps back.
Well, the doctor's there to take a look at him.
Again, this is a guy who's been beaten. Again, I know I'm being cynical. I know it might be real risky of me to say this, but this is a guy who's been beat by this guy 3 years ago, Bob. He got knocked out by this guy. It's a guy that he's in a tough fight. Is he taking advantage of the low blow? No doubt it was a low blow. Is he taking advantage of it? Or is he in that much pain?
Well, now Juarez is saying that he's down. They got the clock running. You get 5 minutes. You're going to bring the stool out. A low blow, you get 5 minutes.
Give me 3 minutes.
Now the referee is saying 3 more minutes. Juarez has got to get up, though. He's acting like he can't get up. Now, that's...
Maybe he doesn't want to get up, Bob.
Yeah, he's rubbing where he got hit. That's where he got hit, on the side of the cup. It sometimes could do more damage when you get hit on the side.
Yeah, if you're not hit square, you're right. If the cup moves and you hit on the side, that can drive into you. And that can be more painful and obviously more dangerous than if you get hit square. But I'm wondering how much of this is really pain and how much of this is the pain of having to face Mark Johnson.
Exactly, he doesn't want to go on. I mean,
he's like not letting the doctor sit him up.
I know. I mean, he's got to get up at this point. We saw a low blow earlier.
Now he's trying to say it's going down through his legs. You can see by his arms. He's saying, oh, it's going down through my legs. Again, we don't know that it's not.
Right. Was delayed.
But I do have my doubts.
Rarely you see a guy down this long from a low blow. Normally you get up and you try to kind of walk it off, shake it out.
Sometimes guys give up. Sometimes guys quit. Again, I don't know. I'm not the one in there.
Right. Well, we're going to show the replay again. We'll let you be the judge at home.
3 minutes on the clock.
Here comes a low blow. Clearly a low blow on the side of the cup. Right there.
Yeah,
boom.
on the side.
So now he's up, and he's trying to fight back.
Yeah, he's okay now.
On.
All of a sudden, he's not okay.
Okay, now I can understand the low blow there. He can't even stand up. They're down to 1 minute. He keeps shaking his head down on the ring mat.
Well, we don't know if he can't or he doesn't want to, but either way, he's not. You're right.
He's not getting up, Teddy.
No, he doesn't want to. You know, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to fight.
He's not even trying to get up.
Now, whether or not he can, again, we don't know. But we do know that he doesn't want to right now.
Let's face it, you've been around the game.
I have my doubts, Bob.
A long time. I mean, have you ever seen a guy laid out from a low blow like that for this long?
I've seen guys take advantage of it. I've seen guys quit. And that's what he's either doing that or something else happened that that obviously we don't have a handle on. You know, the only way that this could be legitimate if something else happened by getting hit on the side, that it went down his leg to something else. You know, which of course we're not medical people here. We don't know. We don't have an X-ray machine. We don't know that. Only he knows that.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, Teddy, they tried to get him off, at least to try to shake it off. I mean, he got hit low, as the replay shows. We're going to show it again. He gets hit low. There's no question he gets hit low. But then he tries to hold on and almost fight back, okay? Gets hit low, grabs where he got hit low. Now he's trying to fight back and hold on.
And now all of a sudden he's into his face.
Then he lays down, claiming he was hit low. No question about that. But then the referee and doctor tried to get him up just to see if he could shake it off, and he could not even stand. So
I believe the rules are you can't win a fight by disqualification. I mean, by staying down. I believe you have to get up before you can be disqualified.
How many minutes? They went down.
I don't believe you can stay down and win a fight that way. I believe that's the rule.
Well, you know, after the heart that Portillo and Lizarraga showed in their 10-round bout, and then Del Matchett and Quinton Williams in their firefight for 6 rounds. I mean, Juarez started getting hit a lot here in round number 4, but he also answered back. And then he got hit low. Now the doctors are tending to him. And as you mentioned, Teddy, you know, we don't have an X-ray machine. But right now they're touching the wrong spot, though. He got hit lower than that. Got hit on the right side of his protector.
I need to know what
So
one interesting thing that could have been done here, maybe if the referee would have said to him, hey, you can't win a fight down there, buddy.
Yeah, get up.
Yeah, maybe it would have made him make a decision. Who knows? Maybe the ref did say that.
All right, here's discombobulating Jones with the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention, please. If I may have your attention for the official ruling. Due to an unintentional low blow, this bout has been declared a no contest.
So a no contest, and now they got the stretcher out.
I don't think that's the correct ruling, Bob. I'm going to take a chance here, and I think if you don't get up, you lose by TKO. You have to get up before the referee can disqualify the other opponent. I believe,
but it's not. But it's not a disqualification. It's ruled a no contest. So in other words, this fight never occurred.
No, I understand that, but I think that the ruling should be a technical knockout. From what I used to understand.
Yeah, but 4 rounds aren't complete. Accidental foul. You go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't get past that 4 round.
We never got. We were in the 4th round. So the 4th round was never complete with the accidental foul. It's ruled an accidental low blow, and it's ruled a no contest. So Mark Johnson keeps his title. Hopefully Raul Juarez is okay as they take him out on the stretcher. He definitely got hit low, tried to fight back, then grabbed, then went down, and then the doctor and the referee tried to at least get him up on the stool, and he would not agree to that. Now they're taking him out on the stretcher. A little different, though, than when Michael Covington a few weeks ago in Foxwoods got taken out on the stretcher. He got whacked.
Yeah, you can feel, obviously, from that standpoint, we don't know what the damage is here, but we know that we would think it's not nearly as scary as it seemed to be at that point with Covington when he got knocked unconscious. You can feel a little bit easier about it from that standpoint.
So Mark Too Sharp Johnson, a no contest. He keeps his IBF Super Flyweight Championship, and he was dominating the fight through 3.5 rounds, and most likely was going to be on his way. He landed 86 of 342 punches. He landed 52 more punches than Juarez through the 4 rounds, or 3.5 rounds. Let's check in with Andre and Max.
All right.